Historically, a black cat has been seen as a totem of bad luck. What happens to you when you encounter a black cat may not be as clear-cut. Sometimes our flaws are what make us most beautiful and unique. Nicole from Germany has had a unique experience of finding two kittens in fairly bad health at just 4 months. After some medical care and medication, both the cats are now in much better condition and well on their way to recovery. Nicole decided to take them home and nurse them back to health. The two cats both had white and black markings on their coats. One day shortly after Ellie had turned 1, Nicole noticed where her fur was one solid black, a few flags of white hair had appeared on a black coat. As time went by, white patches continued to appear day after day. Nicole took Ellie to the vet to get those fur markings checked. She discovered that Ellie actually suffered from a rare condition called vitiligo. This condition causes patches of the skin or fur to lose pigment. It didn't bother Ellie at all, and she got more adorable than ever, changing her fur day after day in front of her owner's eyes. That's exactly what Ellie did. She had a tuxedo coat like her sister, nothing unusual. In the weeks and months that followed, Nicole was surprised to see that the black portions of Ellie's coat slowly began transforming to white. Ellie's appearance just kept changing and changing. Why do you think this was happening? Turns out Ellie was diagnosed as having vitiligo, a rare condition which causes a loss of pigmentation leading to white patches of skin and hair. Though it's sometimes linked to other medical issues, Ellie was otherwise totally healthy. However, what began as merely a few patches of white on Ellie's body soon increased into something uniquely beautiful. Ellie's appearance just kept changing and changing despite undergoing a dramatic physical transformation. However, Ellie's sweet nature remained unchanged. She is still lovely and as playful as the first day Nicole brought her home. Ellie's sister, whose coat hasn't changed at all, still treats her exactly the same as always. What matters most, of course, is that Ellie is healthy and happy. Her special look just makes her all the more lovable, and it hasn't slowed yet. Ellie's fur continues to whiten, but Nicole suspects that some black markings like those on her face will remain. Looking back, though, it's clear that she's already come a long way. Nicole is delighted to see her rescued cat adorable transformation, and it has made sharing a life with her all the more enjoyable.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Ivory. Gabriela Carvalho, a nursing student from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, visited a shelter for cats. She went shortly after losing her 5-year-old emotional therapy cat Luna to feline leukemia. Gabby went to the shelter to return some cat food that she purchased before Luna got sick. Gabby thought that maybe some cat therapy would do her heart the world of good. As she passed by the window of all the kittens and then Ivory, this beautiful, small, adorable white cat just staring at her with heart-shaped eyes. So she asked if she could see one of the cats in the meet and greet area. Although the visit was meant to be therapeutic and she had no intention of taking one home with her. Sometimes life shows us what we need. Ivory came out, walked over to her and laid right on Gabby's lap and started purring, loud and like a pigeon. Though her unique purr, eyes and quirky, stuck-up tongue were adorable, and Gabby loved that straight away about her. What made her absolutely know for sure that she was supposed to take her home was the fact that Ivory wasn't a Canadian cat. Ivory is from the same town in Jordan where Gabby had previously spent 6 months lived. Gabby fell in love with a little 10-year-old short-haired white cat called Ivory and adopted her. Not long after having Ivory in her home, Gabby noticed something very different about her. Ivory has bright fluorescent green and yellow eyes, and other days the color changes to bright yellow and orange. Gabby realized that Ivory's eyes tended to change color depending on the weather, which is usually more common in humans. After a lot of research, Gabby discovered that little Ivory had a condition called heterochromia, which makes eyes change different colors. This new feature didn't make Gabby love her any less. If not, it made her cherish her and love her even more, as it's not every cat that has this ability. Whenever Ivory is out with Gabby, people always stop to admire her beautiful eyes. Due to a dental condition, Ivory doesn't have many teeth left because of her shorter lower jaw. She mostly eats wet food blended with bone broth to make it more. She eats a specific wet food that is pretty similar to a raw food diet. Ivory is a playful cat. Even for her age, she loves to chirp while bird watching and catching squirrels. Despite having almost no teeth, She enjoys eating food and loves quail eggs and treats. Some days, Ivory has bright fluorescent green and yellow eyes, and on other days, the color changes to bright yellow and orange due to the heterochromia condition. The condition can cause a cat to have two different colored eyes. Usually, one is blue while the other is green, brown, or yellow. The condition can affect dogs and humans too. When a kitten is born, they usually have eyes which appear blue due to the lack of pigment called melanin in the iris. As they grow up, the pigment is distributed, which then causes the cat's eyes to change color. Some cats' eyes stay blue, and they do not develop more melanin in their eyes, but others' eyes get darker, with the darkest color being copper. However, if the cat has heterochromia, the pigment is only distributed in one iris as it gets darker, leaving the other blue. Nobody knows what exactly causes the strange phenomenon, but it appears to be a developmental condition, and there could be a genetic link. The condition doesn't have any impact on the cat's ability to see and doesn't seem to affect their hearing, although white cats with one or more blue eyes are more likely to be deaf. When the eyes are completely different colors, it is known as complete heterochromia, but another condition is known as sectoral heterochromia, which means a single iris contains two or more colors. For example, half is blue and half is green. Kitten and Bruce the cat. Kittens are pretty magical. They can bring even the most jaded people to their knees with a single tiny mew. They can instantly brighten any day and make the sun feel like it's shining even if it's storming, but they can't change colors, right? In 2015, Catherine Van Beek was in the middle of a torrential rainstorm when she spotted a tiny soaking wet creature crawling along the road in Auckland, New Zealand. Catherine thought the animal was a tiny wet mouse at first. It was so small that she almost missed him. Sure enough, as Catherine rushed over, she noticed that it was a newborn kitten, and he looked to be only a few hours old. His mom was nowhere to be found. The kitten wasn't able to meow, and it was almost dead trying to crawl across the path. The kitten was so tiny that even its eyes were still covered with a thin film. Catherine couldn't bear to leave it alone and scooped up the wet kitten and took him home right away. At first, she thought his chances of survival were pretty good. However, over the next few days, he got sicker and sicker. His weight was only a little over 100 grams. Although the odds were stacked against a little ball of fur, Catherine was determined to do everything she could to help him win the fight for his life. She started around-the-clock formula feedings, so her little friend would get his much-needed nutrients and made sure he always had a trained babysitter on hand to keep watch on him. On the 13th day was a very happy day for Catherine as the little kitten purred for the first time. She was a proud mother when the kid opened its tiny eyes for the first time and decided to name him in honor of Bruce Wayne, or Batman, who had to depart from his parents during early childhood. After 6 weeks of many vet appointments and constant feedings, Bruce finally rounded the corner to recovery, and his fur started changing from furry gray to black. His eyes also changed from blue to green. Why did this happen? It was believed that his chameleon-like coat change was due to a fever coat, a condition caused in pregnancy. When the mother cat is sick or stressed, it causes part of the fur to turn gray, cream, or red, but eventually fades away over time. By the time Bruce was 3 months old, his coat had turned completely jet black. He started to prance around everywhere, like a kid on sugar. Updates of Bruce's numerous visits to the emergency vet and struggle to survive at such a young age without his mother quickly gained a substantial and dedicated audience. When Catherine shared his story online, his Facebook page was updated daily. Now had over 23,000 followers, and a blog was created just after Facebook page when voted the 89th top cat blog of 2016. His fans, who were predominantly middle-aged women, lived all over the world, including the United States, Germany, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Spain, Thailand, India, Japan, and Israel. Truly dedicated Bruce fans could buy clothing merchandise with his image on it. He loves play fighting with his big sister Jaeger and prowling around outdoors with his mom. Jaeger wasn't happy to see the new cat on a territory at first, but they soon became the best of friends. Jaeger became like a mentor to Bruce, teaching him all the things that cats need to know. Bruce soon became a feisty and vibrant cat. He still had that same flightness that helped him survive as a baby. Bruce helps out a lot in the garden and really loves embracing the Christmas spirit with a Santa suit. Once Bruce overcame his childhood, he grew up and became happy and healthy. Bruce has even inspired Catherine to write a children's book about him. Although Roos marches to his own drums sometimes, he makes sure to always show his mom how thankful he is to have her, and Catherine makes sure to do the same. Catherine feels so proud of everything he's overcome. They were lucky to find one another. Do you know of a cat who changed color? What was the reason for it? Tell us in the comment below. We love hearing what you have to say. Thanks for watching. See you next time.